Today we're taking a look at a watch that was completely unexpected. When I was at a watch fair, it was actually an Indies event here in New York City. About a year ago, I walked over to Ailier Wen and they showed me a watch and it blew me away. This was a full tantalum watch. So you're getting a case and a bracelet made out of full tantalum. It had a sterling silver base fire enameled dial. However, it's not only the materials that they've used that makes this watch extremely impressive. They are also using a highly customized version of a Girard-Perregaux base movement. This watch is very impressive. I have one hands-on to show you guys. It's called the Inflection. So let's flip the camera and take a look at Ailier Wen's latest flagship creation. So I don't have much time with this watch. I actually have for less than 24 hours. So these are my first impressions about this watch. And I've seen this watch a few times already because I've been to a few shows where this was on display. This is a new design from the brand. It is in full tantalum. So this is one of the first production watches to be a non-limited edition in full tantalum that is available. Also, you are getting a full tantalum bracelet. So this is a very, very heavy watch in hand. It feels like you're holding a watch in platinum in hand. It's that heavy. So you could see here the bracelet, the clasp, this scissor right here, the case, of course, the case back, the crown, that is all in tantalum. And there is a number of different finishes across the entire case and bracelet, and those finishes go through the case into the bracelet seamlessly. So there is brushing, there is mirror polishing, and there is frosting on the case and on the bracelet. And then you have a box sapphire crystal. The case here obviously echoes their other watches. However, this is a more organic look. So the hands are a very organic shape. There's a line down the middle. It's almost like a leaf hand, but very, very unique. And then you have a Grand Fou enameled dial. It is a mirror obsidian, and then you have Arabic numerals. The dial is still made in China. It is made by one artisan who make all of their dials, and this is a true hand-fired dial, and it is beautiful. I will do a lot of close-ups. This is a prototype, and it actually says that on the back, so there might be some imperfections in this dial, but obviously in the production models, they will be absolutely perfect, like you normally see from Ailier Wen. They do offer very, very high quality in their guilloche dials and obviously their Grand Fou enamel dials as well. You get a screwed-in crown on here, 100 meters of water resistance. So as if that wasn't enough, this gets an all-new movement as well. It does get an all-new price point as well. This gets a Girard-Perregaux base movement. It is the same movement that you will find in the Laureato or in watches like my MB&F. My MB&F HM5 has a base movement that is made by Girard-Perregaux. Inside here is a fully customized version of that movement, and it is spectacular. It is inspired by waves, and you can see all of the bridges are finished, and there's actually custom bridges on this movement, a custom rotor. It looks nothing like the original movement, and that was already a pretty incredibly finished movement, and what they have done is taken that movement to a new level, putting it into a full tantalum case and bracelet, giving it a Grand Fou enamel dial. This is a spectacular watch. So what they're trying to do here is sort of split up their lineup of watches, or at least that's what I think they're trying to do, because I know that they're going to still offer their more affordable integrated bracelet watch. However, this Inflection, that's what they're calling this, will also be offered alongside that watch, however, in very limited production quantities. So it's not a limited edition, but because of the difficulties of finishing these cases and bracelets, they can't offer them in large quantities. So I think they're going to be making around 30 pieces a year of each one of the dials, and I think there's going to be 3 dials. I want to say only 30. It could be 30 for the entire collection, but I'm not entirely sure. I believe it is per colorway. So this is the black obsidian. They will be making only 30 of these. If I'm wrong about that, I will put it down in the description, but I believe that is correct. This is a 40 millimeter watch. It's around 10 millimeters thick. It's thin with that 100 meters of water resistance and both sapphire crystals because obviously they are using a very thin movement. And then you have around a 44 millimeter lug to lug. That's if you get it on the strap, because this is available on a rubber strap, or if you get it on the bracelet, it's around 50 millimeters, including the end links. However, it doesn't really wear like that. I'll show it to you on my wrist in just a few seconds. Flipping the watch over, one of my favorite features of their bracelets from their more affordable collection is, of course, the clasp. And they have taken the clasp to a new level, making it in full tantalum. It is beautiful and it is really well made. The finishing overall on this bracelet, the case, even the clasp is top notch. This is really a very high-end watch, and that's what they were going for, obviously. I think that they have achieved it. And they already had a clasp that matches this price, because I've always said that this clasp is something that you would find on way more expensive watches if they actually paid attention to these details, because they usually don't. Brands don't pay attention to this, and they do. So this is incredible. When you flip this open, all you do is look at this. First off, this is just an option that they should put on every bracelet. Obviously, they don't, and that's why I love this clasp so much. So that just extends. So if you have a big hand like I do, it's easier to get your watch on and off. That is great. And then the adjustment for the micro adjusters on the outside. This beautiful logo that is deeply engraved is actually a button. It's spring loaded. You press that and it just slides in and out so beautifully. Look at that. It's fantastic. And like I said, I don't know why when you buy a watch, even from Girard-Perregaux, you don't get something like this. And you're spending $30,000, $40,000 on these watches. And they don't think to do little things like this that make wearing the watch way more convenient. On my wrist today, I have an affordable watch, more affordable than the watch that we're looking at today. This is Awake and their limited edition Jurassic Park. I want to say it's not really Jurassic Park. They were inspired by Jurassic Park with these dials. This is the T-Rex, I believe, and they made a dial that was inspired by the T-Rex. So this is an orange dial on a salmon skin strap, which is pretty damn cool. Really good looking watch at great prices. This gets a phenomenal dial as well. And there it is on my 7.5-inch wrist. It just feels so substantial. It has such wrist presence. You know it's there. It's very heavy. It feels like you're wearing a solid gold or a solid platinum watch. It definitely feels very, very expensive, and it looks very expensive as well. This is a 40 millimeter watch, and like I said, the lug to lug really does not bother my wrist whatsoever. It's thin at 10 millimeters thick, and again, it's around 44.5 or almost 45 millimeters if you put it on a strap, and then it's around 50 millimeters if you wear it on this bracelet. And let me tell you, you definitely should get it on the bracelet. It is a lot more expensive on the bracelet. I think it's under $20,000, it's around $19,000 and change if you get it on the strap. That's a rubber strap. By the way, you still get that micro adjust and all that good stuff. And then on the bracelet, because the bracelet is so hard for them to make, this comes in at around 29,000 and change. So if you are interested in this watch, definitely check out their website. I will put a link to their website down in the description. Definitely check it out. However, if you have the money, go for the bracelet. This is a high-end watch that they have come out with that if any other brand came out with a full tantalum watch, because tantalum is so hard to work with, it would not be $30,000, especially with a movement like this that is so customized. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I am so happy that I was able to bring this to the channel, because obviously this is something really weird, something crazy, and they are taking a big risk in making this watch. And here it is. I mean, hey, I definitely think this should sell because it is gorgeous. On that dial, it just says their name. There's really nothing else here telling you how special it is. And then you have that little pattern that they put on most of their dials that goes all the way around the dial. Arabic numerals, no loom, so no loom shot. but you do get that 100 meters of water resistance. This is more of a dress watch, but you can go swimming with it. Beautiful. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful to the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. Thank you for watching this video. I'll catch you guys in the next video.